All right, ready. I'm gonna make a quick review video on another item that I just purchased, and I've had a chance to try it out for a few days, give it my best once over on initial review. And today we're gonna be talking about minimalist shoes. Now, I've worn minimalist shoes for many years. One of my favorite cardio activities is to ruck. That's where you wear a weighted vest and you basically go hiking, up and down hills. And I like the minimalist shoes for that because you're almost like doing it barefoot and you can really work those feet muscles that oftentimes get weak in a lot of people. And when I first started wearing them a few years ago, my calves would get sore, my Achilles tendons would get sore, my arches would get sore. And the reason for that was I was wearing your typical padded shoe that had a heel on it. Like, I was really bad about wearing the Nike Shocks back in the day. I thought they looked cool, but they were a shitty shoe for your foot. Many of you might know this, but you have like over 200 bones in your body, and a quarter of those bones are just in your feet. So they're always moving, and they need to move to stay healthy. And your typical shoe nowadays will basically compact your foot into a space that it's not meant to be in. And most shoes have a heel, which puts a lot of stress on your lower back over time, and will make your calves tight and your Achilles tight because you're meant to get that stretch when you walk. And most people don't get that anymore because every shoe, to some degree, unless you get like a zero drop shoe, is going to have some kind of a heel on it. So I make a point of not wearing heeled shoes very often. I do have some like Ariat boots. When it's really cold, I'll wear those. But in general, I wear shoes like Vans and Converse. Not your typical canvas Converse. It's another style that has a bigger toe box in it. And Vans, for me, have a big toe box, and they're just completely flat, no arch support. Basically, just a little brief history about shoes. If you didn't know this is how bad it's gotten. Back in the day when we first, as humans, started wearing shoes, they would just strap like a piece of leather around your foot just to keep you from being injured, stepping on a rock or whatever. And then at some point in our modern history, it became a fashion statement. So flat shoes were not very fashionable, so they started adding a heel to it and narrowing the toe box to make them look fashionable, which over time led to people's feet getting weaker and calves getting tighter, and there was no return from that. So tennis shoe makers, instead of trying to fix the problem, they just put a band-aid on it, and they started adding a heel to tennis shoes with a more narrow toe box so that your toes were crammed in there. And that's become the norm, but it's really not. It's not the norm. It's actually caused a lot of problems for people. And a lot of people will go to podiatrists and they'll get the inserts to try to fix these problems. So really what you need to do is you need to get back to basics and go barefoot. Like, if I'm not out in the world, I walk around barefoot. Even outside, I'll walk around barefoot. Just because I think it's really important for your toes to be able to spread out when you walk, as opposed to being bunched up in that shoe. But anyway, I could go off on this topic and how I used to have lower back issues. My feet would hurt. My arches would actually hurt all the time. And I kind of I blamed it on the fact that being a power lifter most of my life, I've been heavier than the average bear. I mean, my walking weight right now is like 275 at 5'9", and I thought it was that, but that's not what the issue was. The issue was I was constantly wearing more shoes with more heel, more padded inside, and my feet were just getting weak because I never allowed them to just be strong on their own, for my arches to develop their own strength, for my feet to get stronger by just carrying my own weight without having some padding underneath of it. So I got rid of the Nikes and all the running shoe type of things, and I got back to basics. And it really did take me a few months of dealing with the transition of having like the calves being a little sore because they're stretching more, and the bottom of my feet hurting because you're basically in minimalist shoes. You have some rubber underneath there, but you feel any rock or anything big that you step on. But over time, my feet have toughened up. And when I did get into the minimalist shoes, this is an example of one of the ones that I wore, and I still, when I go rucking, I still wear these. These are the Merrells. The vibrant soles they put on these things are unbelievable. I have the vibrant soles on other shoes of mine. They really take a lot to wear down. But my only issue with this is it looks like a minimalist shoe, and unless you're wearing shorts and you're out working out, you're not going to wear this thing around. It just it's not fashionable. So I hadn't been wearing the minimalist shoes except for when I do work out. And the other day I was on one of my guilty pleasure sites, which is Huckberry. And if you haven't been there, you got to go. That's where I bought my Flint and Tender waxed trucker jacket, one of my favorite items. I have a review on that on here. I bought some other things. Well, long story short, they sell a brand of shoes called Lems, and they're a minimalist shoe, but they don't have that minimalist shoe look about them. That's what I really liked about them. So I've ordered a pair. They're called the Boulder boot, and it's the mid cut, so it's not the high cut, it's mid. And I thought I'd try them out. So this is what they look like. As you can see, to me, it's got a wide toe box, but the seam kind of, it almost like disguises the toe box, doesn't make it look as big. Very flexible shoe. The stats on it, it's a little over half a pound. So it's much lighter than your typical shoe. It's just a air injected rubber sole, so it's much lighter than your typical sole. This is just a canvas upper. This is called the vegan model. I actually did, after I bought these and wore them for a few days, I bought the leather version of these. It does have a cork insert, as you can see. You can take that out if it's a little snug, because these, if you do end up ordering a pair of these, they run a little small. I'm typically a 9 or a 9.5, and I ordered these in a 10, and they fit perfect. So what can I say about these? One thing I did do, and I've mentioned this in other videos, is I hate to tie my shoes. I just hate it. They come untied. I'm a big boy, bend over, it's just a hassle. So what I do is I buy these elastic shoelaces off of eBay, and I throw them in there, and I just tie them off, and it just kind of holds the shoe to its shape as opposed to splaying out like a normal shoelace will. But other than that, I've been wearing these for a week now. They wrap around your foot until it gets to the toe box, and then the toe box is open, so it allows your toes to naturally spread out as you're walking. There's zero drop. If you don't know what that means, it basically means there's no heel. It's a completely flat, no arch support, nothing in here. They're just a flat shoe with just a little bit of rubber on the bottom, but they do kind of roll around and hug your foot, so it doesn't feel like you're sliding around like a lot of shoes. Again, super light. Loved them. Actually, just got back from the gym just a couple minutes ago, and I deadlifted 700 pounds in these bad boys. I usually wear wrestling shoes when I deadlift because I want to be as close to the ground as possible. It does add like a half inch, but I just wanted to see how they did, and they did great. So I can't say enough about these. If you want to get into the minimalist shoes, if your feet have been bothering you, you've been wearing your typical heeled shoe or very padded shoe or a heavy shoe, try a pair of these out. I didn't get these on sale, but they do run sales on these. These were like $100, and I have seen them advertised for less. So you might be able to catch a sale, but I think they're definitely worth it. The only thing that I'm concerned about, and we'll see how it goes, is I hope the sole holds up as good as the Vibrant sole on the Merrells. Hopefully it doesn't wear down fast, because I am a big guy. Typically I wear the soles down much faster because of my weight. But yeah, I can't say enough about them. They're called Lems. They do have their own website. You can go check them out. They have your typical running shoe. And then they have this, which for me, I like because I feel like I could wear like a pair of khakis or jeans with them. And I'm a big fan of a mid-height shoe as opposed to like a regular tennis shoe down here, because it's weird. Some of you might be able to relate to this, but I like the way my pants hang on a mid shoe as opposed to just a tennis shoe. And I like that they bunch up just a little bit, and I don't walk on the backs of them. I don't know if you're going to there or not. It's my OCD kicking in, but I do love just a mid-height shoe. That in Vans and in my Converse too, but these are like half the weight of a Vans or a pair of Converse. So yeah, I think these are water resistant. You can also buy these in a style that is waterproof. They're leather. They are more money, but like I said, I might end up buying a few different pairs of these now that I like these, and once I get the leather ones, get them broken in, see how they work out. So another review, again, Lems. These are the Boulder boot in the mid cut. These are the vegan, meaning there's no leather in them. They're just canvas, and they do make them in all leather as well. Super lightweight, very compact, little over half a pound, and just a great shoe. So if you're looking for something like that, you want to get into the minimalist shoes, but you don't want them to look like a minimalist shoe, go with the Lems. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.